Hello and welcome back to Pro Evolution Soccer. It's the Man United Master League save and we're trying to make United great again. And we've brought in a couple of people in the last episode. So Delict has joined us and we've brought in Jadon Sancho as well. And I think that was it, wasn't it? I think we've got a few people that are on the way out as well, potentially. But today we're playing Leicester City, and then we also have transfer deadline day, which will be very interesting. So yeah, there is going to be a debut for Delict. So let's get into the team lineup and see how we want this to play. And I think that is pretty much correct. We've got Sancho on the bench, possibly coming on to make his debut as well. Lindelof and Phil Jones on there, Jesse Lingard, Scott McTominay, Pereira, Greenwood, Grant, Valencia, Gomez, Darmian and Mata all missing out. Sanchez is actually on and up, so while he's still here, we will actually put him on the bench over Matic, I think. Or is that? Yeah, because we've got McTominay who can fill in the central midfielder's role. So we're playing Pogba in the more advanced position. It seemed to do pretty well in the last game when we changed that sort of formation. We have to be wary of Jamie Vardy's pace, and I think what we're actually going to do is set up some tight marking on Jamie Vardy, and I don't know if we do tight marking on Tielemans as well as maybe as their I'm just trying to think if that's worth doing as their can we get players to join attack when you sort out, so definitely buy and Delict can come up, and then Pogba, although Pogba will be taking it I think, so penalty taker, they say Lukaku, so yeah, okay. Corner's not too fussed about. I'm just wondering if we get Ander Herrera to man mark. Okay, so if we switch, I'm just wondering if it's worth doing like a man marking job on Tielemans, because he's going to be there. He's going to. How did I get into that? How did I get into marking stuff? I was literally just looking at it. Marking settings, there it is. I think, yeah, if we get Ander Herrera to try and man mark Yuri Tielemans, because he's their danger man in midfield, he's their playmaker, and I think that's what we're going to go for. So, right, let's get into the game, and we'll be back for the introduction highlights. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the King Power Stadium, home of Leicester City, led today by Jamie Vardy. Kasper Schmeichel looks like he's up for this one against his dad's former club, and obviously his dad's old teammate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, fired recently by Man United's hierarchy. And Vinko Peritin, the Croatian, has been given a chance to lead this Man United team back to glory. He's been busy in the transfer market, already bringing in Matthijs de Ligt, who gets his debut today. Jadon Sancho, who will be not too disfamiliar with the Premier League, obviously playing for Manchester United's rivals Man City, is on the bench looking to come on to make his debut as well. But United keeping the same core team that played in the last game. De Ligt is the only change. But this is how Leicester City line up for today's game. Kasper Schmeichel is in goal. Johnny Evans is at centre-back, being partnered by Harry Maguire. Daniel Amati and Ricardo Pereira finish out the back four. Gray, Ndidi and Martinez. Tielemans and Albrighton are in the middle, and Jamie Vardy, as expected, leads the line. Man United, as we said, already sticking with the same team. Peritin seems to have settled down on the fullbacks of Luke Shaw and De Ligt and Eric Bailly in the middle. David De Gea obviously in goal. And Herrera, Fred and Pogba in the middle three. Rashford, Lukaku and Martial hoping to get the goals for the Red Devils today as the sun is shining in Leicester and the game gets underway. So Leicester on the left hand side, just trying to push that ball out of play, but it's kept in here. And Leicester are building as well. Vardy did have some movement in the middle. He looks for Albrighton, who looks to put in Gray on the right hand side. Gray takes a touch, lays it back to Albrighton, and De Gea with a flying save. And the Red Devils again looking a little bit uneasy at the start of this game. Oh, good flick from Vardy into Albrighton. Over the top into Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray took a touch, laid it back to Albrighton, and the shot was good. And De Gea with a flying save keeps it at 0-0. So the first corner of the game comes in. It goes short. Gray picks up, but Pogba absolutely reads that like a book, and now Pogba starts the counter-attack for Man United. Infield towards Rashford. Rashford takes a heavy touch but gets away from his man. Drinks it out to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has got space to drive into. Waits for the run of Lukaku, but took too long. But confusion at the back as Martial pounces. Martial looks to cut inside, and he's just held up by Amati. And Leicester City withstand the first counter-attack of United's game. Fred does really well in the middle of the park there. Pogba just couldn't turn quick enough. Fred recycles possession into Luke Shaw. Up to Pogba. Flick round the corner into Lukaku. Lukaku again just looking like he's a little bit too bulky at the moment and could possibly do with losing a little bit of that muscle to make him a little bit pacier up front. Oh, Eric Bailly with a very loose pass, and that's been flicked through into Jamie Vardy's path, and Matthijs de Ligt there showing why Man United have paid the big money for him. That's a fantastic tackle to keep possession for the Red Devils after some very sloppy passing out of the back as de Ligt looks to play it into Eric Bailly, who turns, gives it out to Luke Shaw. Martial was in a bit of space, but they just couldn't find that long ball towards him as Lukaku looks to turn, holds the ball well, gives it back to Eric Bailly. Luke Shaw, Lukaku, back to Luke Shaw again, but he just reacted a little bit too slow, and here come Leicester. It's a good tackle, but Eric Bailly's run into trouble, and Demarai Gray releases Vardy again. Matthijs de Ligt has to come over. He's been pulled out the centre-back spot, he slides in, and he gives away his first foul in the Man United red. Is he going to get a talking to? No, he's not. It's referee just says it was an unlucky tackle, nothing malicious in it, so no card as the ball flies into the box and it's brought down in the area by de Ligt, who's actually done very well and shown great composure there as Eric Bailly looks to release Paul Pogba up to Lukaku. Lukaku into Martial. Martial turns and sees Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw is still going. He's going to swoop in a bit of an early cross towards Lukaku. It's just over his head. But it will be kept alive by Ander Herrera, who looks like in today's game has been given a bit of a man-marking job on the Belgian Yuri Tielemans in the Leicester midfield as Fred can't get to that loose pass. And Vardy will look to turn and use his pace in behind. Luke Shaw gets back well to cover Demarai Gray. But again, they're just not keeping up with the runners from midfield. And this is Albrighton. Lays it back to Demarai Gray. Back to Albrighton. Back to Gray again. These two working well. Luke Shaw trying to cut out the pass. Albrighton's there. Bailly makes a tackle. It falls down here and it's 1-0. Jamie Vardy just can't be given that sort of space in the penalty area. He'll definitely punish you, and that's what he's done, and it's 1-0 to the home team. Leicester City beating Man United at the moment 1-0. A great finish from Jamie Vardy. Really took his time. And here it was, Gray flicked a little dink to Albrighton, back to Gray. Thought Luke Shaw had done well enough to cover it, but Albrighton found the space. Luke Shaw pulled off his man marker, and then de Ligt and David Dyer couldn't do anything about it, and it's not going to be a clean sheet for the new boy at the back. It's 1-0 Leicester. So Manchester United just keeping a bit of possession now, trying to get a foothold in the game. They do find themselves 1-0 down here at the King Power. And that's up to Lukaku, who's laid that off really well to Pogba. Was he caught late? No, Pogba's tried to feed it through. Martial just couldn't get on the loose ball. And it's cleared away. And Herrera challenges with Tielemans. And that's going to be a good ball out to the left-hand side for Martinez. He then looks up the line. But again, de Ligt shows his good positional sense. And flicks a little ball out to Luke Shaw. Into Martial's feet. Into Luke Shaw again. Flicking it on one more. It goes into Pogba. Pogba leads it to Martial. Martial to Luke Shaw, trying to just work a bit of space, which they have done. Martial looks to dink this into the box. Lukaku's underneath it, and then goes for a diving header, and it's just cleared away right in front of his face. And Leicester City starting to feel a bit of pressure from this Man United machine now. And they just need to carry on working the cogs as Herrera does a good man-marking job on Tielemans there, not allowing him to turn and release the ball. As Fred again showing some good defensive work, but a poor pass. I think he must have got a shout from Pogba to let that go to Lukaku, but Lukaku just wasn't in a good position for it. Herrera now on the ball, puts it into Fred, up to Pogba. Pogba looking to turn with the ball, finds Martial, his fellow Frenchman. Lukaku back to Martial again, just managed to avoid that sliding tackle, and Fred again giving the ball away, something he has been hounded out for in the press recently. Martial, great tackle from Johnny Evans as Fred wins the header. Luke Shaw is caught out on the ball, and that's just passed straight out of play while he's trying to give it to Demarai Gray up the line. Martial releases Luke Shaw. Great challenge at the back, and that is half time, and Leicester City find themselves 1-0 up here at the King Power. Paul Pogba hasn't had enough of the ball in the game, and Leicester City throwing men forward from midfield. Look, Man United absolutely dominating possession, but find themselves 1-0 down without having an attempt on goal in this game. Not much changing from the Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer end days, and that's something that Man United are going to have to definitely sort out and fix. So the second half gets underway. No substitutions for either team. We'll have to see if there's any tactical switches that are going to happen as Diego Dalot is invited to come forward straight away. And Actually holds that up well. Gives it into Herrera. Lays it off to Pogba. Just lacking a few options. Back to Fred. Fred sees the run of Lukaku. Picks him out really well. Lukaku just trying to create some space. And is fouled in a dangerous position. Can Man United make anything of this? Lukaku showing very good feet there. Just do that. Drew it out from Maguire. And won the free kick. And it's Paul Pogba over the ball. Can he just put this one in? He's going to ask Lukaku to just step out the way. Paul Pogba over it. Good curl. Oh, he's hit the bar. It calls trying to fall to Lukaku. Pogba can't get on the headed clearance. Oh, and it's so unlucky for the Frenchman. He's been a bit quiet in this game. But he steps up for a free kick and absolutely rattles the bar. Fred now finds himself in a bit of space, waiting for the run of Lukaku. Lukaku looks to flick it up. Oh, he tried to just dink his way around Harry Maguire, but the Englishman actually marked Lukaku very well there, restricting the space for him to go into. As Leicester now struggling to get out and just giving possession back to Manchester United and allowing them to really control this game, but all the time it's 1-0 Leicester. They know that Jamie Vardy on the counter-attack is the outsource and is going to be very, very dangerous. And just like that, Jamie Vardy does pick up the ball. And he's under a lot of pressure there. And he's worked it well. They've got a lot of space here. He's released on the left-hand side. And the referee's called a foul on Dalot. And this is a dangerous position for Leicester City to have a go on Ricardo here. Coming up from left-back. I think Dalot was unlucky there. Looked like he got the ball first. But it's going to be a dangerous free kick to come into the box. It's just chipped in, and there's a header, and De Gea sees it over the bar. I think it was Jamie Vardy. Was it Jamie Vardy again, or was it one of the big guys up from the back? I think actually it was Maguire. De Gea was always comfortable it's going over. Matthijs de Ligt has found himself coming up from the back and being given acres of space. Rashford tries to put the ball into the box. De Ligt flicks the header on, but there's no one there. And now Fred has to get back. Jamie Vardy turns him very, very well. It goes out to Albrighton. Luke Shaw has now been caught out goal side as they have the ball. Amati looks over the top, but Luke Shaw got back into position very, very well. And Man United look to build again. Dalot into Herrera. Up it goes to Pogba. Nice back heel into the path of Lukaku as Herrera dishes it out just into Rashford's path. You can see Dalot coming forward. Diego Dalot looks to put a cross in. Lukaku's in there with the header, and it's a lovely downward header from Big Rom. And that makes it 1-1 on the day. Lukaku with a wonderful headed finish. Lovely patient build-up from Man United. Something that I'm sure Victor Peritin will look to take advantage of. Dalot with the ball in. Lukaku with a great downward header. Schmeichel's got no chance. And that is 1-1. And that is what we like to see. Dalot again with his, I think that could be his second assist of the season already. There's always potential that a new right-back could be on the cards for Man United. But yeah, Lukaku, the big man, getting the goal. And that's what we like to see. 1-1 here at the King Power. Man United being forced back here after just getting the equaliser, but lovely defending from De Ligt, who just gets to put his foot through it and is happy just to see that out. But Matthijs de Ligt having a very solid debut at the moment. Not much he's done wrong as the ball here is with Leicester City. Up it goes to Martinez, who puts a ball in. De Ligt is... that's Luke Shaw, sorry, winning that header. De Ligt there again with some good defensive displays as Pogba now comes forward with it. Rashford lays it back into the Frenchman's path. He's just waiting for that run from Lukaku. Looks to do a reverse pass into Lukaku's path. Is he fouled? No, it's a good tackle from Harry Maguire that time. As that ball comes in, and Eric Bailly reads that very well as they're trying still, Leicester City, to release Jamie Vardy's pace. Herrera gets that ball quickly away. Pogba into Lukaku. Lukaku out wide. Martial has held the width out there very well. Martial looks to cut inside. Surely fouled. He is fouled. And it'll be a very dangerous free kick to Man United. So the first sub of the game, Jadon Sancho comes on for Anthony Martial. He makes his debut for Man United. Martial picking up a really slight little knock in that last foul that won the free kick. So on comes Sancho for his debut. Pogba over the free kick. Actually has a go at goal, and it's hit the bar again. Schmeichel really not certain, expecting the cross. Pogba having a great start there as Sancho picks up the ball, gets a shot off. And Sancho starting this game with a lot of confidence, as you can see. 15 minutes to go. 1-1. Vardy picks up the ball, looking to stab it through, and he has, and there's a shot. And it's gone into the corner of the net, and it's 2-1 Leicester, just like that. Martinez gets the goal. Vardy getting a goal and assist on today, and that has come out of nowhere. Man United have dominated this game, absolutely dominated it. Vardy was given a little bit too much space once again, And what happens is they punish you when you do that. Vardy here turned, laid it back, and there was Vardy, dinked it through the gap, and Martinez, an absolutely fantastic finish, sticks it into the corner of David De Gea's goal, and now Man United have got to do it all again as Vardy just toe poked it through. De Ligt gets caught out by Martinez's run. It's a wonderful finish into the roof of the net, and Martinez celebrates incredibly passionately, and that makes it Leicester 2, Man United 1. So just under 10 minutes to go. Eric Bailly invited forward. Luke Shaw gives it in to Jadon Sancho, who holds it up. Luke Shaw gives him an overlapping run on his left foot, puts a cross in looking for Lukaku. He couldn't get on the end of it, and now here come Leicester City on a break, and there's a lot of space on the right hand side for Demarai Gray. Looks to get round Eric Bailly. That's a fantastic tackle from the Ivorian. Fred now has a lot of space to maraud into. It's Fred the Brazilian. He has a go, and it's really lame, and Schmeichel makes an easy save. Sancho into Lukaku. Lukaku turns, tries to give it back to Jadon Sancho. He's got the fresh legs. He's got a bit of trickery that he can try and pull out to create some space. He wants Luke Shaw to move forward and does. Man United have got players in the box. The cross has just got to be good. It's in towards Pogba. Headed away. Sancho keeps it alive. Gets a little bit of space for himself. Sancho swings this one in, looking for Herrera, who's underneath it. And it's headed away. Man United can't have enough time to launch another attack. It's a 2-1 defeat for the Red Devils. A very disappointing performance as Fred walks off the pitch, and Vinko Peritin has got a lot of work to do with this Man United team. He really has a lot of work to do. Leicester they took their chances, and you call that a deserved victory, as we see here. 61% possession for Man United. The second half, they had more attempts than Leicester in the whole game, the same amount on target, but just couldn't stick them away. Pogba scoring a free kick, but also hitting the bar from another one. And if that had just snuck in, it would have been all so different. Your man of the match today is Jamie Vardy for a goal and an assist. Jadon Sancho having little time to impact the game. Herrera not enjoying his man marking role on Yuri Tielemans. Matthijs de Ligt being pretty solid on his debut, but not being the best rated player for Man United today. So that defeat for Man United leaves them wallowing in 14th place after 2 games played. Up at the top is Liverpool, Leicester, Wolves and West Ham currently in the Champions League spots. Arsenal in the 5th spot, and Brighton, Watford both find themselves above Tottenham, in 6th and 7th, separated only by goal difference. Down at the bottom then we have Huddersfield, Crystal Palace and Cardiff. Just above them Bournemouth and Fulham, and then the 2 Manchester clubs with equal records of 1 draw and 1 loss find themselves in 14th and 15th positions. So on deadline day the first deal is confirmed. Toby Alderweireld joins in exchange for Nemanja Matic, and that is going to be strengthening the back line of Man United even more, and that's a good move to have, I think. There's also another deal that could well be confirmed on deadline day, and that is Issa Diop to be exchanged for Chris Smalling. And that is another defender in the club, an upgrade on the Englishman. Issa Diop comes in younger, fitter, stronger and better in the air. This is a very, very busy deadline day for Man United. So with 9 hours of the transfer window to go, an offer has been, received from Marseille for Lukaku, which I'm pretty sure we're going to turn down straight away. We also have a negotiation for Kieran Tierney, and it's a straight swap. Tierney found randomly on the transfer list by Celtic, and it's a straight swap for Matteo Darmian. So they're very much an improvement and competition for Luke Shaw in the left back position, which is very nice indeed. Now, Vinko Peritin has been told he's looking for a right back and a striker in this deadline day, and with time running out, it's going to be a struggle to see if he can find both players. 5 hours to go, and news reaching us is that there could be a deal for Mauro Icardi to join from Inter Milan, with the unfavoured Alexis Sanchez moving the other way. So there's been negotiations, agreements, there's potential that a deal could happen, and it looks like it is going to happen. Mauro Icardi is going to be joining to be a striker competitor for Romelu Lukaku, which is absolutely incredible for these Man United fans to feel that happening. We know that an offer for Lukaku was received from Olympique Marseille, but it's just been completely turned down without any compliments. As we tick into the final hour of the transfer window, there's potentially one more deal on the horizon, and it could be going through. Julian Weigl may be moving from Borussia Dortmund, we hear, for centre-back Marcus Rojo and some cash. And it looks like that's going to go through. That will be accepted there. And that will be the end of the deadline day as the time ticks down to 1-0. That was a monumentally hectic day for the Man United board. The team of the month is announced, and unsurprisingly there is no Man United representatives in there. Rui Patricio, Tarkowski, Fernandes, Robertson, Klein, Brooks and Didi, Martinez, Ozil, Vardy and Gonzalo Higuain make the 11 best players of the month as Ghana improves somewhat, and that takes us through to our first Champions League game, which will be done in the next episode. If we have a last little look at the squad, this is how we are looking with our lineups in here. Oh, where have we go to? Into the game plan then. So, in goal will still be David De Gea, Romero, and very, very good backup to have. New star signings. Weigl will go on to replace Fred, I imagine, in the starting lineup. We'll just get on to that. Let me sort this out and we'll be right back. So it looks like in the next game against Dortmund they're going to be trying us out in a sort of 4-4-2 formation or a 4-1-3-2. But we've asked Rashford and Martial to play a little bit deeper in midfield. We'll have to see how they get on. Apparently they can do it slightly better than if they're wingers. So 78, they're become an 80 rating in right midfield. We'll have to see how it goes, but a potential deadly strike partnership in Lukaku and Icardi up front could be very good. Dalot has started the season well, and we didn't bring in another right back, which means that position is probably going to be his all season. We do have Valencia as a backup if needs be. De Ligt and Alderweireld will probably start together at the back, leaving us Eric Bailly, Lindelof and Phil Jones all in the reserves, with Issa Diop being the main one on the bench. And then Luke Shaw will keep his spot. He hasn't done too much wrong, so he'll keep his spot, and Tierney will be ready to come in for injuries, suspensions and out of formness. Julian Weigl will be playing Weigl will be playing as a holding midfielder. Paul Pogba will be captain in front of him. Rashford on the right, Martial on the left, and then the deadly strike partners like that. We'll have to see how it goes. It's quite easy to change this into a sort of a 4-3-3 again. We just drop Pogba like this. We could drop Pogba back here, push Martial further up as a left winger, and Rashford up here as a right winger. And then bring in Weigl into the central midfield, or Weigl like that into the central midfield, which would still work. That would still be pretty deadly, I think. But I think if we're chasing a goal, that's what we'll go for. But for the meantime, as the Champions League anthem blares out in the background in my ears, we might actually just go for a bit more of a traditional 4-4-2 like that, I guess. Weigl playing the holding midfield role, much quicker, much more mobile than Matic, so I'm much more happier to have him in there. Rashford and Martial boosting a bit of pace on the wings. Dalot and Luke Shaw, Alderweireld, De Ligt is a pretty solid back four. De Gea and Go obviously very good in the game. Weigl and Pogba is a good solid central midfield with Herrera and Fred on the bench as well. It gives us lots of options. So let me know down below what you think of the transfers. Do you think I've gone a bit over the top? Are you happy with what I've done? But for now, I'm out. Cheers.